Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hey, Freaky friends! It's Michelle and Melissa from the Freaky Fridays podcast. We are sisters in separate states and love to talk about all kinds of spooky, freaky, and scary shit while drinking and laughing through our fear.
Join us Fridays as we delve into everything from the world of the paranormal to scary movies to creepy stuff we find around the internet. Subscribe to Freaky Fridays wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Sleep tight.
Make sure you leave the lights on.
Freaky Fridays is a proud member of the Podmoth Network. For more awesome pods, check out podmoth.network.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system.
Curfew is in full effect. Everyone lock your doors and don't answer after midnight. Early on Wednesday episodes are about to be released.
Tell us about your encounters with Early on Wednesday.
Ladies, this is Natasha with Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. You guys are great. I mean, you're funny, you're very interactive with people, both on the pod and through social media. And your guys' detail in your episodes is great.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Stacey and Lavender keep you very engaged in the topic.
And you guys make me laugh throughout my day when I'm having a crappy day.
You heard it here first. Stay safe out there, ghouls.
Welcome to the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Deklan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes, bizarre occurrences, and get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories. To lighten things up, we'd like to end our time with a chaser. Please keep in mind some of our stories might be upsetting to young or sensitive ears.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to contact us by email or social media. You can find our contact info in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support us through Patreon, you can find us there at Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy Podcast, or use the link in our show notes. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again.
Hi, friends.
If you're listening right now and you prefer to watch us, go ahead and jump over to our YouTube because we're going back to our video format.
Video options.
Yes.
But don't make fun of my background because my room is in disarray and my hair looks like shit.
Don't make fun of my background either because I thought it would look a lot cooler, but all you can see is my hat collection. I have a TV behind me it's got the old Microsoft screensavers.
Oh, the one that bounces around.
I've got the pipes going right now, but I have a collection of them that's cycling through, but
you can't see it though
because
because
do you have for us today? I know because I'm in the fucking
you're
way,
blocking it. So I think you'd have to change the angle. That would be the only thing. You'd have to change your angle because you're sitting right in front of the TV.
You can see a corner of it, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What story do you have for us today, Mom?
I have a story out of Czechoslovakia about a woman who killed some people because we're going brutal.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. A historic story, so to speak. Yeah. What are you going to be telling us about?
I am going to be talking about Siegfried and Roy.
Oh, no.
Yes. Very interesting story. But to go with it, I have the cocktail Tiger's Claw. There's a couple other tiger-related cocktails that I found, but none of them kind of sounded good, I should say. None of them really sounded
I'm
that
not
good.
sure that this sounds good.
Yeah. I definitely skipped an ingredient or two, but the ingredients are 2 ounces of reposado tequila, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, 3/4 ounce fresh lime juice, 1/2 ounce cinnamon syrup, 1/2 ounce coffee liqueur, and 2 dashes of orange bitters.
Let me
Shake
guess.
in a cocktail's glass and serve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just going to say, let me guess that the one you skipped is the coffee liqueur.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do not like coffee liqueur, so that is not in my cocktail right now.
Right.
But
Right.
did you put it in yours?
I
Because
did.
I know you have some. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
I
So
have multiple kinds.
we have the full cocktail here. Because I'm not gonna buy some shit I'm not gonna drink and I don't
Right.
like. So
I know.
I don't have it.
I have the full
but
cocktail, and I predict that it's going to taste gross, but that's because it has tequila in it, and I dislike tequila.
Let's give it a try.
All right.
That is really good without the coffee liqueur.
I don't taste tequila. I taste coffee.
I don't taste
Just a
tequila
half
either.
ounce. It's gone. Like the tequila is gone. Where did it
Coffee's a
go?
much more overpowering flavor, I think, than tequila. Because tequila, if you mix it with lime juice, it kind of like melts away. But if you just drink tequila straight, I'm interested to see what the coffee liqueur version tastes like.
The cinnamon's really good.
It's
all right.
pretty good
So
cocktail.
when you
Granted,
come
mine doesn't have the
home,
ingredient, but we'll try it.
when you come home, we'll try it again, and you can try it with the coffee liqueur. I don't think you'll hate it with the coffee liqueur because
Does it
it's
hide
not
the coffee?
overpowering. It's super subtle.
Just more like a bitter, like
kind of. Yeah,
warmth,
it's not super
almost.
bitter.
I'm trying to.
No, and the cinnamon in there is really nice. I like it. It's yummy. Look at me drinking tequila.
Yeah.
Who knew it would work?
You always say this, but there's a couple of tequila cocktails we tried that you really enjoy. Like,
I don't know about really enjoy, but
doesn't
I don't hate.
the Fistful of Diamonds from that Osteria place, doesn't that have tequila in it?
No, that's gin. That's
No?
gin.
Oh, gin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the story of Siegfried and Roy. Roy Horn was born on October 3rd, 1944, to Johanna Horn in Nazi Germany. He was the youngest of four brothers, Manfred, Alfred, and Werner. Sorry, not Werner. His father was a Nazi soldier who turned to alcoholism after returning home from the war.
Oh.
Shortly after coming home, Johanna and the kids left Roy's father due to his physical and emotional abuse. His stepfather became an alcoholic as well, and the family soon fell apart.
Oh.
Roy was very interested in animals from a young age, training and taking exceptional care of his family dog, Hex. Hexie, Hexe, is a German word, but German word for witch. But
okay.
a family friend created a zoo when Roy was 10, which he spent a majority of his time at, which allowed him to interact with exotic animals. Roy dropped out of school at 13 and started spending even more time at the zoo. His duo, his partner, Siegfried Fischbacher, was born on June 13th, 1939, to Martin and Maria Fischbacher in Germany. Martin was a painter before the war, but became a Nazi soldier during wartime and was taken by the Soviets as a prisoner of war. When he returned home, he also became a violent alcoholic. Siegfried's escape from his dysfunctional family was magic. He was gifted a magic book when he was 8 and became addicted fairly quickly, which is a good addiction to have, magic that that won't
better than
necessarily land you
alcoholism.
in a hospital or anything. Yeah.
Right.
In 1956, Siegfried moved to Italy to escape his family and started working at a hotel where he was a dishwasher, bartender, and waiter, where he used his magic to entertain the guests he was serving. Later that year, he picked up a job on a cruise ship. as a waiter, bellboy, and magician under the stage name Delmare, and this is where he met Roy. Roy went to one of the magic shows on the ship, and during the show challenged Siegfried to pull a cheetah out of a hat. They started talking after the show, and Roy joined Siegfried in his magic. They had the crazy idea to incorporate a live cheetah into the show, and the two smuggled a cheetah named Chico onto the cruise ship using a laundry bag.
What the? Oh, okay. Come on now.
The logistics of getting a cheetah into a laundry bag is what confuses me. Like,
Yes. It's got to be a big laundry bag or a very small cheetah.
yeah.
And how? I mean,
I don't know how. I couldn't find much information other than the cheetah's name, but somehow they got Chico onto the ship.
I guess if you're working on the ship, it's probably easier to smuggle stuff on.
It's probably more lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Trying to get
I would
things
think
in
so.
and off the ship, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they debuted their new act with Chico on the cruise ship during their magic show and were fired directly after the show ended.
Well, of course, because you have a cheetah on a cruise ship. What the fuck?
A New York cruise ship owner saw their show and was captivated, so he offered them a job on his ship to do magic. They performed magic together on the New York-based cruise line until 1964, when they were discovered by the owner of the Astoria Theater in Germany, who offered them a gig. In 1966, they began working with other animals such as white tigers. This elevated their show, and they were asked to perform in Las Vegas in 1967 and debuted at the Tropicana in Las Vegas. Their careers took off after their move to Vegas, and they became household names. They performed at various hotels and casinos in Vegas until 1988, when they became U.S. citizens and they launched a world tour using big cats as their main act, but also featured other large animals such as elephants, white tigers, white lions, peacocks, and just some other random animals.
Random animals.
In 1990, they were hired by Steve Wynn, who owned many of the hotels on the Vegas Strip, and were offered $57.5 million for a 5-year contract.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
Holy
big money
moly.
at the time.
What year was that again? Did you say they got that?
99.
Oh, man.
Or, sorry, 1990.
That is some
By 1999,
cashola.
the duo had made over $500 million and were the highest paid entertainers in Vegas, which is
Holy crap.
a town that centers on entertainment. Like,
yeah. We're going there soon.
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to see Siegfried and
No.
Roy.
No, we will not.
They played primarily at the Mirage until 2003, where a bizarre incident took place.
Yeah.
On October 3rd, 2003, also Roy's 59th birthday, the duo performed the same show they had performed hundreds, if not thousands of times. This day, they were performing with 7-year-old, 400-pound white tiger named Manticore, which Roy had raised since he was a cub. And there's clips of them going on like talk shows, like the Late Night Show and stuff, with this tiger as a cub. And they let it walk around on the desk, and they'd carry him around on their neck and stuff. It's super cute. But during the show, Manticore went off script and started walking towards the audience at the front of the stage. Roy approached him and tried to direct him into position. Manticore gently bit into Roy's sleeve, and Roy booped him on the nose with the microphone and said, "No, no," and Manticore then released his sleeve. Roy then started to walk away to get into his position for the next trick when the tiger pounced onto Roy, clamping down on his neck, crushing his windpipe and severing his spine. Manticore dragged Roy off stage and wouldn't let go until a stagehand sprayed a fire extinguisher in his face and trainers were sticking their fingers in his mouth. Which, you can pay me enough to stick my fingers in a tiger's mouth. I don't care if he's biting someone.
that just ate
that is
a
not
person.
happening. Yeah.
Wow.
Roy was immediately rushed to the hospital, and Manticore was wrangled back into his cage. While in the ambulance, Roy emphasized that Manticore was a great cat and wanted nothing to happen to it, claiming that Manticore reacted like that because it was trying to save him from the stroke he was suffering from. So, whether it happened before the attack or during or after, Roy had suffered a stroke on stage.
I'm gonna
So
say you have a tiger bite your neck, it might cause a stroke.
But if you're working with this cat once a week, if not every day, like, and he hasn't attacked you in 7 years, like, a stroke could cause
I don't
animals
know.
have weird senses
They
like that.
do.
Like,
They do.
that's what a lot of medical dogs are for, is like,
Mhm.
they have dogs for diabetes people to like
Yeah.
detect when they're low blood sugar or something like that. So
Yeah.
I could kind of see where he was thinking like the cat was trying to save him, but
Yeah.
biting him on the neck. I mean, it doesn't know that the neck is the most vulnerable
No.
part of a human. So
Oh, I think
I
it
don't know.
does. I think it
I
does.
can kind of you can
I
see
see what you're saying.
where where he that it's trying to help him. So I don't really know if it was a malicious attack or I don't know.
Right. I have a little side
Ro-
note just to
Okay.
like diverge from the story for a second because you were talking about animals and health conditions in people. There was a recent story on the Instagram account We Rate Dogs, which we've talked about in the past as a chaser. If you don't remember it or if anybody needs to follow a cool Instagram account, it's an amazing Instagram account. But they were talking about that there was like a adopt a pet from a shelter day, and there was people that were meeting these dogs that were up for adoption, and this one dog went over to a gentleman and just sat by him and wouldn't leave. And then the guy's wife came over and realized he was getting ready to have a seizure, was able to get him to safety, but would not have been alerted if it hadn't been for this dog like refusing to leave this guy's side.
That's what
And
I'm
it
saying.
wasn't a trained
Animals
dog.
have some weird like sense. That's
For
kind of what
reals.
makes me believe that he was trying to
Maybe.
save Roy, I guess. But
Maybe. Don't bite his
because
throat. Just saying.
they did thousands of shows with this
I
cat,
know.
not this cat particular, but with big cats like
Yeah.
that. And he had raised this cat from a cub.
Yeah.
So
It's still a wild animal, though.
well, not at that point. If you get it as a cub, it doesn't.
True. Semi-wild.
It is a big cat, but
Mm-hmm.
I think you could train it as like you could with a house cat. I mean, I've never been around a tiger, but
I don't know.
I'm
I think there's some
assuming the
still
fundamentals are still there.
wild instincts are still there.
True. So, after the stroke and the attack, Roy spent months in the hospital and rehab clinics, but ultimately suffered from paralysis to the left side of his body due to the stroke and
Oh.
breaking his
Right.
fucking neck. In 2009, Siegfried and Roy performed their final act at the Bellagio for a benefit for Lou Ruvo Brain Institute and included Manticore in the act. So they went
Okay.
back. Yeah, they did another act with Manticore. On March 19th, 2014, Manticore passed away at age 17 due to illness.
Wow.
Roy passed away at 75 years old on May 8th, 2020 due to complications with COVID-19.
Oh,
Siegfried
gosh.
passed away at 81 years old after it was announced he had pancreatic cancer. Items from their life were auctioned off, earning $1.4 million for their foundation, which went to the protection of endangered species. So,
Wow.
all around, I think it's a pretty good story, except for getting bit in the neck by a tiger, but
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
they lived pretty good lives. I mean, they were also lovers,
I
but I don't think that was important to the story.
no. I'm really glad to hear that they didn't put the cat down.
Yeah, Roy had a infatuation with animals, especially exotic ones like white tigers and lions and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense that he wouldn't want to put down the cat that he raised from a cub. Like,
For sure. For sure. I wouldn't want that either.
yeah,
But, sometimes other people take over and are like, okay, well, now it's bad, kind of thing.
yeah,
So I'm glad that didn't happen.
yeah. I think it's a pretty cool story though. Like all
It is.
around, they
Yeah.
came from Nazi Germany and they snuck a cheetah onto a cruise ship.
That is wild. Just wild.
Yeah, yeah. I
On
trying to find some videos of their act, but it they didn't post like their last
well,
performance
back in the
where he was
day.
attacked was recorded, but it was never released to
Yeah.
public. So,
Oh, good. I wouldn't want to see that.
dude, that's where we differ. I like my Insta. I see so many
I
fucked up
mean,
videos online.
I
Morbid
part of
curiosity
me
gets
goes,
me.
that would be interesting to see, but the other part of me, it'd be like, no, I don't need to see that. I'm kind of torn.
Yeah, I have a morbid curiosity that makes me
Yeah.
want to watch that shit.
Right.
Yeah. Let's hear about your story, Mom.
Okay. So my story is from Czechoslovakia, and I will probably mispronounce the name, but I think I've only got it in there one time. So I'm only going to destroy it one time. The person that we're talking about, her name is Olga Hepnarová. She was born June 30th, 1951 in Prague, Czechoslovakia. She was the second born child to her parents, and she had an older sister. Her father worked at a bank and her mother was a dentist. By all accounts, Olga's early childhood was fairly average, but at some point she started to develop some psychiatric problems. At 13 years old, she endured a lot of bullying in school, which led her to attempt suicide by overdosing on her medication. This resulted in her being placed in a psychiatric facility for about a year. Even though she was there for a year, she didn't receive any official diagnosis, which I don't know how you can keep someone there for that long without a
No.
diagnosis, but
Diagnosis is crazy. I
that's
get
the
it.
story anyway.
When
I
when was
mean,
this again?
so she was born in 51 and she was 13
Oh
when
yeah,
it happened. So
that was about the
64.
time where you could just throw a woman in a mental
Yeah.
hospital and just say she's
She's
crazy.
she's crazy. She's crazy. And it's in Czechoslovakia. So, situations are a lot different in countries
True,
like
true.
that. Yeah. Olga attempted to escape from the facility and she was assaulted for trying to do so. Gradually, over time, she lost contact with her family. After leaving the mental hospital, she bounced around to different jobs, never keeping one for very long and often being fired from them. Eventually, she landed on becoming a truck driver. So she was driving around trucks, which bad omen there. Spoiler alert.
Bad omen. Oh, I was gonna say it sounds like a
Yeah.
cool gig, but
Well,
doesn't turn out well.
maybe, but in hindsight, maybe it would have been better if nobody
The
taught her how
best.
to drive. We'll get there.
Okay.
Around this time, she started openly exploring her sexuality with both men and women, but this exploration didn't result in any relationships. So she was just kind of bouncing around and didn't end up with anything serious. In August of 1970, she started demonstrating troubling behavior. However, at the time, no one knew about it. She set fire to a family. Her family owned a farmhouse, and she set fire to it. Her sister and 2 elderly tenants were inside.
Damn.
Yeah. But nobody knew it was her for years. She set it on fire and got away. Yep, she got away. Thankfully, the fire was put out before any significant damage to the structure and no one was injured. So everybody survived it, but they were like, that's weird, a fire. Didn't look into who did it, I guess. Like I said, her involvement wasn't known until a few years later. Basically, when she confessed to it, that was like, oh, she did it. Yikes. Over the years, Olga felt disconnected from the community and her family. She described herself as a loner. She believed that everyone hated her and she had been cast out from society. She didn't like feeling this way, and she wanted to make her feelings known, and she wanted to get some justice for it. I guess if you feel like people don't like you, then it leads you to do bad things. In 1973, Olga's feelings were increasing, and she started making plans to show the world that she had been treated poorly by society, and she was taking a stand. Exactly. Nothing good comes from plans like that.
This sounds
She
like
had a few
incel
ideas.
behavior.
Yes, kind of. Yeah. I mean, it parallels
It's
a
like
lot
the San
of
Diego State
stuff
shooter.
that, yes, happened in current society in America. But this was back in 1973, so this is kind of early. She had a few ideas of how to make her distaste for how she'd been treated known. It included a mass shooting or a bombing, but she discarded those ideas as being too difficult for her to achieve, to get the kind of weaponry that she needed or stuff to make a bomb. She couldn't figure out how to do that.
I guess it's not America. You can't go to a Walmart and buy a gun, but
Correct.
okay.
So she was like, I can't get a firearm. I can't get stuff to make a bomb. So we'll ditch that idea.
I don't know anything about Czechoslovakia, but it seems like the place it'd be easy to get a gun. I've
I
seen
don't know. Apparently she
like some
didn't think
dash
so.
cam videos and shit, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I think she wanted a lot of casualties, and she probably would have needed a,
That's
certain kind
like
of weaponry for that.
Russia adjacent, right?
Kind of.
It's
I don't know. I'm bad at
SSR
geography. It's over there.
The Soviet Union.
Yeah, it's like near Germany and things like that. So it's over there in Europe. So she decided to go for a more easily obtainable item. And that was a truck. Because remember, she's a truck driver. On July 10th, 1973, she rented a medium-sized truck and then drove it onto the sidewalk in Strassmeyer Square in Prague, where a group of approximately 25 people were waiting for a tram. When she stopped the vehicle, witnesses attempted to help her, thinking that she had lost control of the vehicle, not realizing that she had done it on purpose. She quickly admitted that she had had full control of the vehicle and that she had purposefully driven into the crowd. There were 3 immediate fatalities. 3 more people died later that day, and 2 more victims passed away a few days after the attack. 12 more people were injured but survived. I should say, and survived, not but survived. We want the and survived, not, yeah. All in, there was a lot of destruction, though. 2 days after the attack, a couple of local papers received letters from Olga. It didn't say in my research for sure when she sent them, but I'm guessing that she sent them before the attack. Not like she was in jail and then sent the letters, but I think she sent them before. In the letters, she explained that driving into the crowd was to get revenge on her family and the community for hating her and treating her so poorly. She also explained that if she had committed suicide, her death would have gone unnoticed, and she wanted everyone to know about how she had been treated. So,
fuck this bitch.
Yeah. Olga was arrested, and during the police interviews, she admitted to planning the attack and had stated that her intent was to kill as many people as possible. In fact, she drove by on another occasion but abandoned the plan that time because there weren't enough people waiting for the tram, in her opinion. And she wanted as many casualties as she could get. The tram station was at the bottom of a hill, which allowed her to gain speed as she drove towards the stop. As if just driving into people wasn't bad enough. She wanted to get, she went through multiple psychological.
Like UK, or not UK, European countries don't have our size semi trucks, but they're still big trucks.
Yeah, it was a medium truck.
What do they call them? Lorries or something like that?
Yeah. I think this would have been similar to
the cab over engine.
Like a U-Haul sized, not like a big truck U-Haul, but like a medium. Yeah. A box truck. Yeah. Not semi, but box trucky. She went through multiple psychological evaluations and was deemed sane and criminally responsible for the attack. Olga surprised a lot of people by then asking to be executed. She was just like, I did it. I'm guilty. You might as well just execute
Please kill me.
Yep.
If I was a judge, I'm not going to kill you.
Right. If you're asking for it, you're like, you want that.
That sucks. You're going to spend your life in jail.
Yeah. However, not this time. In March 1975, she died by short drop hanging. She was 23 years old.
75, you said?
1975.
1975?
Yep.
They were still hanging people in Czechoslovakia?
Yes, they were.
Wow.
In fact, she was one of the last people to be executed using this method. And she was the last woman executed in Czechoslovakia.
Wow.
So,
that's,
like I said,
I haven't
historical relevance.
I wonder what the
1975.
last person hung in America is.
They're still hanging people apparently back in Czechoslovakia. But they don't do that anymore.
Weird death penalty things. I watched a video about people that died from shooting. Like, what's it called when you get executed by firing squad?
There you go.
So apparently one person has a blank and the rest of the people have real bullets, so that
I've
you
heard
can
that.
go to sleep and think
knowing
I had the blank, but no one knows.
Knowing you weren't the one that
Super strange. So the last person to be executed by hanging in the US was Billy Bailey, who was hung in Delaware in 1996.
What?
Oh, wow.
And that was probably not a short drop hanging. I think
I don't know what that
they
means.
kind of figured out short drop hangings, I believe.
Well,
I think
designed to break your neck instead of suffocate
that's
you?
the thing. It's not. If I'm thinking correctly, and if I remember correctly and hearing about different execution methods, short drop is basically where you just strangle to death on the rope versus if it's a long drop, in theory, if the rope is done properly, it will snap your neck and kill you fairly quickly versus you just strangle to death. Yeah.
That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Same. I mean, I could be wrong. If anybody out there knows about, execution stuff and wants to educate me, then let me know. But I think that's what I have heard in the past.
think I'd prefer firing squad if I had to get executed. I don't want to hang.
Yeah.
I don't want lethal injection because I don't like needles.
True.
I think
I don't
firing
know.
squad would be the best option. Hopefully they hit you in the head.
Well, that's the thing. Like, where are they shooting, and are they a good shot? And is it quick, or
There's
do you
like 5 to 10 people out firing, I think. So
I don't know. I don't like it. I'll just choose to not be executed.
But if you had to choose, what would you choose?
I don't know. I don't think I would want to be electrocuted.
No. Oh God, that would be a awful one. Or burning.
Yeah.
Getting fucking torched.
Yeah.
I think firing squad
I'd
is
rather
the best option.
I think I'd do lethal injection, because that's supposed to be theoretically painless.
No, I think they use like nitrogen, which like causes. Or maybe I'm thinking of the suicide pods in Canada. One of
Maybe. I don't know.
the nitrogen, like they pump nitrogen into your bloodstream, so which is like a gas. Yeah,
No, thank
I
you.
think that's what lethal injection is.
That's basically the
I'm pretty sure
bends.
it's nitrogen. Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure
No.
that's what they use is nitrogen.
I'm going lethal injection, because it's a concoction of drugs that make you fall asleep and your heart stops, basically.
No, they don't. They don't give you like fentanyl. That'd be the best way to go if they just pump you full of fentanyl. But nitrogen is used in some states as an alternative method of execution. Nitrogen hypoxia. This method involves forcing the inmate to breathe pure nitrogen gas, which deprives the body of oxygen and causes death. Alternative to lethal injection. It's used in Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Oklahoma.
Holy shit.
Ugh, I don't. I'd prefer firing squad.
I don't. If those were my two options, I'd pick firing squad.
Just give me a double dose of fentanyl. Put me to sleep.
Or that. Yeah. Ugh.
I prefer a pillow over the face to that shit. What the fuck? That's horrible.
Sure. For sure.
Ugh. Gives me heebie-jeebies.
I don't like it.
Do you have a chaser for us?
Yes, I do have a chaser. I have a baby bird update on the baby birds from the nest.
If you don't know, go and check out. What was it 3 podcasts
Some of our
ago, maybe?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 podcasts ago.
Just
where
go
we
look
introduced
and figure out which
Marge.
one it is. Listen to the very
Yes. I talked about Marge 5 episodes ago.
Okay.
So we had, just a quick update, we had the blue jay, the Steller's jay, that built a nest in the tree in front of our house, which was visible by the front window. And she laid some eggs. The eggs hatched. And the baby birds have all left the nest. They're all gone.
Really? They're all gone?
They're all
That was
gone,
like
and now the nest
a
is
month.
empty. I know it's quick.
Wow.
It's quick. Yeah.
Does the mom and dad come back or?
Nope. Nobody's been back in the nest. It's just empty.
No one's been back?
Nope.
That's kind of sad.
So we're gonna leave it there and
I mean, yeah,
see.
you can't knock it down, but
maybe
they come back next year?
Maybe. It says sometimes they come back. So we'll just have to wait and see if they come back to the nest and have more babies. But we had 3. Of course, I named them because we had Marge. I named them Bart, Lisa, and Maggie to go with the rest of the Simpsons theme. So,
I
yeah.
found out recently that those were named off of the creator's brother and sister.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
that's
his
so
name
cool.
was Matt Groening, but he changed his name to Bart.
Really?
In the show, not in real life. But
oh, okay.
Bart was
Gotcha.
Matt.
Oh, okay. How cool. Well, do you have a chaser for us?
I do. My chaser is it's a watch recommendation for a movie on Hulu, I believe, called Outbreak. It came out in 2024, and it's a zombie apocalypse type thing. This guy's a park ranger, and he gets attacked by zombies and stuff, and it has a very good twist ending.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, I don't want to
I'm gonna
give too
have to
much
check it
away,
out.
but it's got like I wouldn't say it's on the level of Sixth Sense, but it's got an ending that you're like, oh
Oh,
shit, I didn't expect that happening.
ooh,
Because I
I
was
like
watching it and I was like,
twists.
how are they gonna end this? Like, are they setting it up for a second movie? But
Sequel.
the twist ties it all together. It's
Okay.
super good.
I'll
Super.
have to check it
It's
out.
got the guy from, I think it's called Revolt, that apocalypse movie where the power turned off.
Oh, I know what you're
That I
talking about.
love. I absolutely love
Yeah,
that show.
the
It's
TV
got that
show.
that main guy from it is the lead actor in this
Okay.
Outbreak movie,
I'm
Billy
looking it up.
Burke. But
Oh, yeah.
it's a really good watch. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Well, I
I'm gonna have
think
to check
that
that out.
brings us to the end of today's episode, Mom. Thanks
It
for
does.
listening, everybody. Go ahead and check us out on YouTube if you'd like to see video format rather than
Yes,
just audio. But
but don't make fun of us because
yeah,
I did not
go ahead
know we were
and
doing video today.
give us a like and a follow. I told you over the weekend
I
if we're gonna.
know, but I thought we were talking about it theoretically, not like, oh, hey, here's the camera. Yay.
I'm not gonna. I'm still trying to decide if I want to throw pictures in. I don't think I'm gonna throw pictures in on this episode. Go ahead and leave us a comment if you'd like us to. If you'd like me
Put
to
some
put
pictures.
videos or pictures on our video so you can kind of see what we're talking about, but it just takes so much longer to edit. So
It
go ahead and
does.
let us know if that really does it for
If
you.
you
I'll
like it
go
or
ahead
you
and
hate
do
it
it.
or you
But
don't care.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All
But
right.
thanks for listening,
Nice
everybody.
talking with
Love
you,
you,
bud.
Mom.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.